Well, hello, David. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I have to admit, seeing you pop up in Ballerina was actually a total surprise for me. I had that full Leonardo DiCaprio moment, just pointing at the screen, like, "Whoa! I did not get that memo."
That's good. I hope.
Yeah, no, it was a pleasant surprise, and that's how much I try to distance myself from films of what's online and everything like that, and like to go in as blind as I can. But it's very hard these days.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, me too. I try to sometimes if I'm really looking forward to a film, I try not to even see the trailer. I want to make sure that I come in as the least information as possible, the better.
Yeah, and Ballerina is such a fantastic entry in this world of John Wick. You play Eve's father, and I have to ask, what was your first reaction to joining a film set in the John Wick universe, and how familiar were you with this world before stepping onto the set?
I mean, I knew about it since the first entry. I was a big fan of it. I mean, I obviously I've been a fan of Keanu since Point Break, and obviously Matrix kind of reshaped my entire cinematic experience as a not even a prepubescent human. And so when I got the opportunity to star or to play alongside none of the Armas and Keanu Reeves in this new entry, it was just like it was kind of mind blowing. Honestly, I was so shocked that I was going to play Eve's father and sort of have a little bit of a catalyst or play part of the catalyst in the main character's origin story.
Yeah, honestly, this story doesn't happen without your character Javier. He sets the entire plot in motion, honestly. So how did you approach preparing for such a pivotal role?
Well, I know the stunt team was so pivotal for my sort of immersion into this film. They were, the best in the world. Just the ability to go to Budapest and train for 4 weeks before cameras started rolling to sort of embody who Javier was, how he fought, his style, sort of establish a dynamic with Victoria, who plays young Eve, was essential to hopefully be able to do my part and, kind of set up to care about, Eve's motives.
Yeah, Victoria is super great in this as well. I love the beginning scenes with the both of you. Director Len Wiseman is known for high octane style. Did his
Yeah.
visual flair, change how you tackled the scenes, especially in those early emotion moments and all those, action-packed scenes as well?
Yeah, I mean, Len was great. He was sort of very collaborative in asking about how I felt about certain things, but in the end, it was very much about how does Javier fight, and how does that enhance his description as a father and what he wants for his daughter. So there was a massive thing about him not killing. And if you notice some of these moves, it's more about disarming and being able to do as much as he can to get away from things rather than actually being, because he could kill, but the way he was trained was a way of protecting rather than killing.
Yeah, I love rewatching this film as well. I got to see it a couple times, and like I said, the beginning is so pivotal to the whole film and some of my favorite parts of it. And this franchise, it's known for its killer visuals, rich mythology. What stood out most to you while filming?
I mean, honestly, the stunts in its own way, like the choreography of it all, the sort of the safety net of knowing that we're not moving on until we get the shot. And there was moments where I would fear that, oh man, like that punch didn't really land, or this move feels a little awkward. So they'd come and they immediately be like, okay, we're going to switch it. It was like an improv dance, like constantly trying to make sure that the character and yourself are cohesive enough to look good and to be believable. Until we got the shot right, we'd move on. And then obviously when I got to see the stunt training between Ana de Armas and the stunt crew and watching their dances and their moves and being blown away when I got to see it on the screen, and how, like, especially the fight in the ice rink and the club where everything is ice, that whole entire sequence, I got to see it in the stunt rehearsal room, and getting to see it now on the screen, it just was so sweet.
I know how serious these films go about when it comes to safety and stunts, but just like that documentary just came out, Wick is Pain. So were there any, accidental falls or, some hits maybe that landed a little bit too hard?
Nothing that I'm willing to admit, if I'm honest with you. Because when you're playing with the best, you kind of want to hold your own. So there was these moments where I'd pass by limping, and then when I'd pass by like the director's chair, and and Chad Stahelski was there and be like, "Are you hurt?" And I'm like, "No," and he would just kind of say, "Liar," and I just keep walking. It was this kind of, I really wanted to just impress the stunt people, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, they're fantastic. It is amazing what they have done for this industry as they continue to elevate all these amazing stunts and make films look much cooler than they used to be, back in the days. And, your character Javier clearly has a past worth exploring. Would you be open to a prequel or spinoff that dives into the earlier life in this world?
Look, anything involving John Wick, I'm game. Honestly, like the people involved, the mythology of it all is so exciting to me that I would always entertain the idea of being able to play with all of them again.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see that. I love this world expanding in the different ways it's about to, and anything we can get on this world, I'm up for. I gotta mention, you've been with the Umbrella Academy since day one.
Yeah.
What a fantastic show that was. Looking back at season one, what surprised you most about the fan response to Diego and the series as a whole?
I mean, I never really knew that it was going to be such a hit. And I always felt that Diego was very mean. There was something really dry about him, very cutthroat. And I didn't realize how much people would connect with him. And also the writers of Umbrella, they really knew how to take out some of the comedic and kind of enhance it. And so by the time season 2 kicked off, that's when I started hearing how funny he was. And that's where it sort of made sense of like someone who was so mean, but yet through that in its own self, like I guess we can all relate to certain jokes we would say between family members that eventually would make everyone laugh.
Yeah, I mean that's a show I already missed. It came out at such a great time, I feel like, as well, and entertained so many of us. Just for fun, if Diego and Javier cross paths in this, multiverse mashup, what would that look like? And would they be allies or end up just throwing hands?
I don't know. I mean, I think they could be allies because I'm selfish like that, and I like peace within all of them. I think they could probably take out an entire hotel, an entire hotel staff and of assassins. They would have a lot of fun doing it. But mostly, I feel because of their father-like qualities or lack of with Diego, I think they would make a nice mashup. Yeah.
You always pick some really cool characters to play, I must say that. But lastly, you've tackled so many cool roles already, like I mentioned. But is there a genre or type of character you're dying to explore next?
I think anything that delves into extreme anxiety and nerve-wracking preparation, that's what I always lean towards. And so I don't know what that might look like, but that's usually my compass. Like if I'm like extremely anxious about and it needs an extreme amount of preparation, that is usually my wheelhouse. That's what I love.
I love your dedication for that already. I love that. David, it was an extreme pleasure to talk to you. It was great to see you in this film, and I'm definitely looking forward to what you deliver next.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it, Sean.